Hey there, and thank you for watching this demo of the budget template version number 3. Before we get into the whole demo, though, I do want to let you know that if you look down into the description, you'll see a way down there where you can get your hands on a free spreadsheet. So you'll be taken to a page, and there'll be 3 different spreadsheets on there. So you just choose whichever one fits your needs the most, and that will give you a free spreadsheet to kind of play around with. All right, so back to the demo. This is the demo of budget template version 3. At this point, I do have 3 different versions of the budget template, and this is the third one. The first page that you're going to see whenever you open up the file will be the Start Here page, or tab, I should say. And on this tab, there's going to be instructions on how to set up your budget. So the first set of instructions is your YouTube tutorial, which is where you're at right now, showing you the demo. And so if you click that button, it's going to take you to this YouTube video. Right below that, you'll see where it says click here to view the example template. That will be the demo that we're going to go over in this video. So that example spreadsheet is there for you to access and look over if you need to go back and reference for anything. And then down below that is some written instructions for those who like things kind of written out for them. Your next tab is the dashboard, and this here is just a blank. It's the blank spreadsheet like what you would see. So the next tab is the dashboard, and this is where you'll enter all your information and watch everything come alive. The next tab is purchases. This is where you'll enter all your purchases that you make, as far as like groceries and fuel and that kind of thing. And then the single click purchase view is where whenever you choose a category, it'll give you the transactions just for that category, so it helps you to analyze it. So let's go over to the example budget. This is the example budget that I have put together. Before we get started on this budget, though, I do want to recommend for you to create a master budget. So like if you go back to the original file, and you go up and you say file and make a copy, and it's going to say copy of budget template version 3, you'll just change change that to master. So that way you'll always have just a blank master copy of the budget to work from. So I'm going to cancel out of that. And what you'll do for this master is you'll fill in all of the information that you will typically see on your budget. So you can use this budget however you like. You can use it as a monthly budget, as a weekly, as a paycheck, as a bi-weekly, as a bi-monthly. There's enough lines in here to where you can even use this for an annual budget if you wanted to. So you'll just put in here, say you want to use it for a monthly. That's what we're doing. So you got your master file, right? And on that master file, you go ahead and fill in all of your income and all of your plan numbers for each section. So for the bills, you'll enter your description and your planned. For your funds, you'll enter in all your descriptions and your planned. For your purchases, these categories can be changed. If you change those categories, they will also change over in purchases for the drop down. You'll see that change happen here, and you'll also see the change happen over here in the single click purchase view. So if you were to change baby supplies to horse supplies, that change would happen in all of these places automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you were to change that, so go ahead and do all of your categories that you want, put in your plan numbers, and that way you won't have to keep entering them over and over and over. All right, so you get that, and that gives you your master budget. So once you have your master budget, then what you can do is go up and click File, make a copy, and at this point, it's going to say copy of master budget template version 3. And this is where you will change the name to whatever it is you wanted. I changed mine to example. But, if you're doing this for, like we're doing this for January, for the month of January in 2025, then you may want to change it to January 2025 budget template version 3. You can change it to anything you want. You're just going to keep making copies from that master so that you don't have to type everything in over and over and over. All right. So we've got our master done. We've made a copy from the master, and that's where we're at now. We're at our budget. And so in here you will, once you open this budget up, you'll put in your date. What is your starting date and your ending date? You'll enter that information there, and it'll concatenate for you automatically at the top. Your planned numbers will already be filled in because they pulled over from the master. So if you wanted to, you could, go in here and delete out items that you don't need, or you can make changes to the planned numbers. Do whatever it is that needs to be done to get this budget started and, get all the planned stuff accurate the way it should be. Once you have all your planned and you're ready to start entering your actuals, all you got to do is just enter them in over here in the actual column. So once you get your paycheck in, and if it's $651.25, then you put that there. This budget here, I've got it like kind of like where I would come back in and maybe add more numbers to it. Again, that's my preference. You can do it any way you want. You can have each paycheck lined out, because like I said, there are enough lines here. Let's see, how many lines is in this thing? There are 400. It goes down to 405. It's not really how many lines, because some of them are used for other things. But there's over 350 lines in this thing to where you can use it all year. You can enter every little thing out individually if you wanted to. It's however you want it. So as you get your paychecks, then you'll put in your actual amounts. As you pay your bills, you'll put in your actual amounts. Or even if you get the bill in, you'll put in the amount. That way you'll know what you have left over. As you put into your savings, you'll put in the actual amounts. It's really super simple. All you have to do is just fill in what the column tells you to fill in. And then as far as your purchases, you have your actuals over here from the master. I'm sorry, you have your actuals over here that will pull from when you enter your purchases from the purchases tab. And then of course you have your plan that pulled over from the master. So as you make purchases, as you go out and buy stuff or whatever, you'll put this information in right here. And when you do that, then you'll have a graph that'll come alive over here and show you where you're spending most of your money. Like the groceries, you're spending most of your money on groceries. This same graph will be right over here on the front page too, under, over top of the purchases. As far as the other graphs, before we get any further, you'll see there's a planned graph and an actual graph. So it shows you where it is you're putting your money at. And then these graphs here are your planned and actuals, where it shows how close your actuals are getting to your planned. All right, just a quick overview of that. Back to purchases. So you'll put in your purchases as you make them, and then say at any time you want to analyze what it is that you're spending your money on. So if you decide you want to look at groceries, then you'll click groceries. If you say, well, where am I spending my money at on fuel? Then you'll click fuel, and it'll only pull over the transactions that pertain to that category. So that way you don't have to try to cipher through all of this and get overwhelmed with all those numbers in front of you, especially if you use this as a yearly budget. As far as this purchases tab goes, for a yearly budget, it goes down to $999. So you have plenty of room to put in anything you want. So you could have this for the entire year if you wanted to. That is pretty much it with this demo. That there really isn't much more to it. It's pretty simple spreadsheet. If you do not already have the spreadsheet, there is instructions down in the description on how to get your hands on that. and hope I see you in another demo video. Thanks. Bye.